You know, the thing about great writing, August Wilson, Eugene O'Neill, you name it, Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, there's so many layers. It's not just one thing. It's open to interpretation. You know, I've heard people say things, well, I felt he was this and that. I was like, oh, I never thought about that, but okay. You know, people ask me, well, what do I want them to get from the film? I say, well, it depends upon what they bring to it. So what you see in Troy or feel about Troy has to do with your own life and, you know, standards and all those things. Here's the thing you got to remember. When you talk about racial and you talk about discrimination, maybe, what if he just wasn't good enough? See, it's so easy to just say, oh, it's because of this. It's because of racism. Oh, I didn't get the job because of that. Maybe you weren't good enough. Maybe, like his wife says, you were just too old. She says, why don't you just admit it? You were too old. He's the one that's hung up on, you know. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big.
When you're out trying to become successful, you should not be afraid of trying new things. You should always be trying to push the envelope and try to be risky, because you have enough time for, if your high risk, high reward situation doesn't work out, then you can try something else again, because you have so much time, because you're starting your goals right now. If you do that, then you're going to be set, because people that become successful are the ones who take risks and who try to become successful. So many people are out there saying they want to be successful and they want to do this, that, and the other, yet they never make any effort to do it whatsoever. They're just sitting on the sidelines wishing and hoping that something's going to change their life so that they will become successful. But you have to be willing to put in the effort and try and do the work and put in all the time and energy that it takes to become successful. Because it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to be a long, grueling process, and it's going to take a lot of mental strength in order to keep going, because you are going to fail, and that's all right. You're going to have to fail numerous times and keep trying to get back up, because every time you do, the chances of success are going to increase, because you didn't give up and you didn't quit. That is the worst thing that you can do, is quit or give up, because failure is overcomable. So many celebrities and famous people and successful individuals have claimed that failure is the greatest thing to ever happen to them. So fail often and fail boldly.
You know, I'm an ordinary man with an extraordinary job, not the other way around. You know, with the training that I had, that's the way we were trained, you know. To play any part, there's no such thing as you can't play a part. You may not be right, but I don't think there's a part I can't attempt to play. I can at least analyze and try to break down and put a performance together. It may not be any good, but I was taught, one of the things that I was taught that sticks in my mind was a gentleman by the name of Bill Ball, who was the artistic director of the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. And he always talked about failing big. He said, if you're gonna fail, fail big. You better have another career to fall back on. I'm like, I don't wanna fall back on anything. I never understood that mentality. I never understood it. I'm like, I'm going that way. But I got a small play, a one-act play about two guys, one named Malcolm and the other named Elijah. I was even saying Elijah. And that really jump-started my career again, because the play went over very well. We did it down at the New Federal Theater, Henry Street Settlement. And that led, I went right from that play to a soldier's play. You know, I'm an ordinary man with an extraordinary job, not the other way around. So it's all gravy for me. You know, when I was younger, I used to coach a lot, and you coach kids in sports. Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List. Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas. Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List. But there are cultural differences. I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference. So it's the culture. Yeah, look at all the footage you could get, all of his albums. You know, I would listen to. In fact, by the time we did the movie, Spike would just like load the camera up and I'd just start talking. I could just pull from things I'd learned and memorized and knew. You know, you could talk about the table. That's a black table, you know. You could do anything. You could just improvise. So I just go and go and go. When I was in college, up the street, the first two major acting roles I played were the two main acting roles of Robeson's career. Yeah. Eugene O'Neill's The Emperor Jones, that's the first play I ever did. I played the lead. Yeah. And then Othello. When I did Othello, there was an English teacher there by the name of Bob Stone, who came out of retirement to play Brabantio, which is Desdemona's father. Well, Bob Stone was in Othello with Paul Robeson. And he was very instrumental and complimentary, and he's a very large part of the reason that I'm here now, just the guidance and sort of shoring me up and giving me confidence in my ability. At that young age, he saw something in me and he expressed it, and you know, it gave me the fuel. It's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I feel a responsibility as a human being. I don't know about, you know, this role model stuff is tossed around, you know, who's the role model, who's the hero, who's the genius, who, you know, it's semantics. I mean, what are you doing for others? What have you done for someone today?
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.